Driving for Uber Eats in 2023 is a very popular side hustle, but you need to know these tips and tricks to really maximize your income. Number one, I always say this, so I want to say it quickly here, that it's very powerful on Uber and Uber Eats that you can stack bonuses, unlike other apps. So you can stack surge pay when it gets busy based on supply and demand. You can stack Quest bonuses, which are batched bonuses, and you can also get Boost or Boost Plus pay, which is scheduled per trip bonus pay. Number two, now this one is updated for 2023, so pay attention to this. Now, recently, we just saw DoorDash changing their order request screen for drivers, now not including the expected customer tip. So I want you to leverage Uber Eats and consequently Uber that do show you the expected customer tip. So look here, we have the expected pay for you as a driver and that expected customer tip as well. And just thought about this, wanted to mention it for you, that it's very easy for customers to add a tip after the fact as well, which can help. And they can do that much easier than other apps. So as an example, let's just assume you're driving for DoorDash as a dasher. Then on that new screen, yes, you see the pay, but not the expected customer tip. Versus on Uber Eats, not only can you get that stackable bonuses, hopefully you're driving during a busy time that has bonus pay, but you for sure can really calculate a good dollars to mile ratio. How much am I getting paid for the miles driven? Because you can actually see what you're going to make on that. Number three, understanding and using the market share of Uber Eats. So look at this chart here. So this data from May 2022 says that DoorDash has a 59% market share, pretty strong, but Uber Eats has a 24% market share. But I also want you to understand you can really leverage Uber Eats in certain marketplaces. Look at this chart here. So certain cities, Uber Eats is more popular than other cities. So you really want to try to get a feel for your city. How busy are you when you drive for Uber Eats? And you can measure that by how long are you waiting in between orders? How frequent is the surge, the Boost Plus pay, or any Quest bonuses? So I don't want you to give up on Uber Eats just because they have a lower market share. Number four, and it's surprising for how long I've been doing Uber and Uber Eats that I really haven't looked into this, at least in some time. And this is very important for you to understand. It's how you're actually paid as a driver. So look here, directly from Uber Eats website of how delivery fares are calculated. Your fare is calculated with base pay plus a trip supplement plus promotions plus tips equals your total. So, okay, base fare includes your pay for pickup, drop off, time and distance. Okay. Now, trip supplement, this is unique to Uber Eats and it's, admittedly pretty confusing even for someone who's done this for years. Listen to this. Trip supplement added to make every delivery worthwhile. A trip supplement payment takes into account many factors to make sure trip earnings are reflective of that trip, such as when we notice the total time and distance, including your travel time to the restaurants, is longer than expected. So I just grabbed a random order here in my earnings tab. You can see the same thing when you go into earnings. You can click on certain deliveries to see an entire breakdown. So you can see here, I earned $22.25. It took 33 minutes for 4.8 miles, a very good dollars to mile ratio. Now you can scroll down as a driver to see specific breakdowns of a fare. So look at this. The fare here is a base that we saw, $2.21 in this case, a trip supplement of $1.79, and that surge, again, the bonus pay, $4.25. And a stellar tip. This was a stacked order, so actually two customers made up this tip here. $14, very good. But yeah, in doing my research on Uber Eats trip supplements, again, per Uber Eats, they say, well, it's to make the trip worthwhile. If it takes longer or if there's just other factors, we'll give you more money for it. How much? And then, even base pay. How much is base pay? How much is the per mile, the per time pay? Number five is actually several things that are pretty important, but I just want you to do these little things. So what we've said here on the channel for years, number one, the profile screen hack. Other apps don't have this. It's just why I deliver. Put some in there, usually an emotional appeal. Please keep it honest, a real, emotional appeal of why you're delivering. Because you can see here, your customers will see this on your profile. And I remember remember when I drove, just, ride along here with my brother Matt, that he had multiple customers give him a $20 tip on the same shift because he was saving up for an engagement ring. Next, turn on Uber Connect, which is package delivery. Turn on Uber Direct, which is business to customer deliveries. Now, I've never really had Uber Direct, but your market might. Comment down below if you've gotten Uber Direct. Next, turn on alcohol deliveries if you're comfortable. I'll say that. I've done alcohol deliveries when I was doing this in San Diego because they actually had liquor deliveries, which we can't do here in Pittsburgh, only malt beverage and I think wine. Certainly beer, but I did much more alcohol deliveries in San Diego. And again, turn that on for even more opportunities, again, if you're comfortable with that. You can, of course, turn on Shop and Pay, which I don't have on because I'm not a big fan of going into a convenience store or a store, shopping, using your Uber card, checking out, is there a line, are there substitutions, but you can turn it on for more opportunities. And this next one's actually buried a little bit deeper here. So I would turn this on. It's earnings opportunities, demand info, promotions from Uber, and additional ways to earn. It's in your notifications, as you can see here. Just make sure that's turned on. You're going to want to know about that. And then number 6, especially if you're new, you have to understand the basics. Like, don't just go online and accept everything. I've seen it when friends have driven for these apps that they will send you basically everything and you don't really know what to expect. I would have a minimum order of ideally $6 or $7, just, your pay with the customer tip there. Obviously, the higher the better. The mileage pay, $1.75 paid out per mile. That's our channel goal. And aiming for $25 per hour. Now, if you're hitting those metrics, you're making enough money for it to be worth it, enough money to actually have margin versus your expenses. And by the way, you should be tracking your expenses as far as miles and understanding your numbers. Take a look at our Excel or number sheet for Mac OS. It's available on your drivermike.com. It's linked down below. So you can record all this info. And if you do just want the best practices, because all of these videos, they don't all go over every single best practice with managing bonus pay, positioning, dealing with customers, getting the right accessories, setting up your vehicle. For that, our course, Mastering Delivery, it's also found on our website. So doing this, following these tips, everything from the basics, because you have to understand the basics first, to advanced strategies, I'm telling you, is going to maximize your pay. And in fact, let me know which one of these did help you to get higher ratings, make more pay, better utilize your time. I think that's another one that we don't really talk about, is not wasting your time on the road. Let me know down below. Drop a like of this video if you got value. You can also click or tap the screen here for my newest video, as well as video recommended for you, and I'll see you in the next one.